life in a day, birth to the death, creation.
All right, welcome to the Folk Hogan podcast, where this week it's just me. And I'm just hanging out in between shows. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. I'm recording this early, earlier than it's being released, but in real life, tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. And I'm just going through some chords and, checking them out. Not so Folk Hogan related, sort of Folk Hogan related chords. Because sometimes when you're in a band, you gotta test things. You gotta test the things that you're using. So, recap, I figured might as well get one of these recorded and release it. It's better than what we've been doing, which is missing our recording dates. And the main reason for that is that life happens and whatever. So, I'm not super worried about it, but just so you know, sometimes we miss a podcast or two. We're gonna miss some birthdays. We're gonna miss some births, frankly. So one of the things I've been looking at is upgrading some of our chord situation, because when you're in a band, you kind of always have to be thinking about the next thing that you're gonna be doing in many aspects, just even technology and whatnot. Like, this is something that I would love for people to weigh in on. We're thinking about recording an album, and what's it gonna go on? I mean, we did vinyl, we did CDs for many years. When I first joined the band in 2011, Moses and I had this long conversation about whether we should do a CD at that point at all. And it was a discussion because at the time, iTunes was in its height. People were paying for digital downloads or pirating stuff, but for independent music, they were mostly paying the $9.99 for a digital download of a full album, or 99 cents or $1.99, whatever it was, for the individual singles, the individual tracks. And we had this conversation at that time. It was about $1,200, $1,300 to print 1,000 CDs. To get professional quality, you had to do 1,000 minimum. And hey, can we actually sell this many? Are people still gonna want these? And I was like, look, Moses, at the time, I've got a print vendor that can print me 5,000 plastic business cards. We can put a download code on them. We can create our own platform to download the songs and control that however we want. And printing those cards was going to be like $100. So, it's easier to store. It's easier to pay for up front. And ultimately, we'd get the music out to more people that way. And as we talked about that, we eventually landed on doing the CDs, and they did really well. Piggy, the French bulldog, is down here making all the noises. Lifting her up like this is kind of foul, but that's what's making all of the snorts and grumbles. Huh. You have a good day today? Okay, I'll let you get back to licking crumbs. So, even 3 versions of this ago, we had some thoughts going back and forth about what would work best. And we printed CDs, and they did really well. We sold through probably 2,000 or 3,000 Band of Mighty Souls at this point. actually, definitely 2000. We're on our third printing, and obviously CDs have died way down and completely off. Right about the time that we printed our third full-length album is when they really kind of that year started to tank. So when you first started seeing, I don't know if you can think back to 2019, it's been a long time, but that's when you saw everybody eliminating CD drives off of cars and laptops. Well, and they had probably been eliminated a year or two previously, but that's when people actually started to kind of upgrade their devices, and more so, we hit this wall of nobody's really got the CD player in their house anymore. So we started to scratch our heads and go, well, what can we do? Well, then COVID happened, and all of our merch got put on hold for a while. Then when we came back, things came back really furiously, but we saw, what classically they call soft goods, the t-shirts, the apparel, all that kind of stuff did really well. Anything that people could buy that wasn't music did way better than it ever had previously, because there was still this inherent need for our fans to want to support us, and everybody kind of has this understanding on some level, whether they're intimately involved or not, that you've got to support art if you want it to keep going. And so for a band, that looks like t-shirt sales, that looks like vinyl record sales, that looks like pre-orders of a new album, that looks like beer koozies and stickers and pins and all that stuff that we make, where, if you're going out on a Friday night or a Wednesday night, your goal for the end of the night probably isn't to come home with another koozie or a sticker, but you're likely going to end up with one if you go see a few bands. It's just an easy way to kind of keep connected with people, give the bands a little bit of support, and, so merch has always been a big part of that game. Well, vinyl records took place again, and they had this resurgence, and then that resurgence got really, really good during COVID, because everybody was stuck at their house and they were looking around and they were thinking, how can I improve my home life? I've got more time to do things a little bit intentionally here. It's not just this mad rush back and forth to the office in a car with an algorithm pointing out what I'm going to do. And so vinyl did really well for a few years, but I've watched entirely music album sales just kind of tank over the last 2 years. And so I'm kind of wondering, what's the next thing going to be? Now, on the listener side of it, me, you, anybody that's consuming music is getting a little bit fed up with Spotify running ICE ads. They're getting a little bit fed up with every one of these places that charges $9 or $17 or $14 a month, kind of getting more and more expensive, offering less and less for that. And meanwhile, are they helping out the artists? Well, not financially. So then it would be easy to replace it with something else. Now, I have discovered a lot of independent artists off of Spotify over the years, and then eventually I ended up jumping ship and going to YouTube Music, which I think is a great value, and gives you access to a lot of other things, but the artists aren't making a ton of money from that. But what is happening is they're able to connect with fans, and I'm able to discover new bands that I wouldn't have known about otherwise, and go and buy some of their stuff. Go to one of their concerts, go buy a t-shirt, go buy the record there in person, where go buy the merch in person, where I know for the most part there's less hands taking cuts of it. There's less hands touching it, there's less people taking a cut of it. I think I created a metaphor there by mixing up idioms. But that's kind of the music state and the state of music. And what the hell? Like, what do we release now? It's an interesting thought. So I've been investing a lot of my time personally recording video. It's a very inexpensive medium once you get into a few cameras or whatever, or even your phone that's got an incredible camera on it to get your music out there on these short form content things. Well, it's not really what I want to do as an artist. I don't want to make sketches. I don't want to make 15-second videos. I don't want to try to sell and summarize the whole concept of the band in 10 seconds. I mean, hey, this song's about this and this and this, and it's really meaningful to me. Here's a TikTok. Well, the problem with that isn't that people are out and doing that. I mean, they're being told to do that, and there's a bunch of us 40-year-olds sitting around trying to replicate what music executives are telling 20-year-olds to do. But the problem with it is, why don't you just fucking listen to the album? Why don't you just listen to the song? And why can't the song just become what it's about for you? Why do we need a Reader's Digest version of something that we do for joy? Why do we have to cut that down to 10 seconds? So just a little bit of food for thought about some of the back and forth and resistance that we're struggling with internally as artists about short form content, long form content. If nobody's buying the album, and ultimately the goal of a band is to create music and distribute it, then how do we do that? What's the best way? So while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to walk around the room a little bit, and I've got a few things to test, and I might hit pause on this. And so if you see me jump around on the video side of this, that's why. This is all thousands of dollars worth of technology, and this is how I'm doing this. Hey Siri, call Casey. Hi there.
What's up, man?
I'm just doing an episode of the podcast. Mm-hmm. And I called you and you're on speakerphone. But I was just wondering, how were the gigs this weekend?
The gigs this weekend were pretty cool.
Did anything stick out? Any good moments? Any bad moments?
I mean, just a really good crowd Saturday night at Piper Down. Everybody got really into it and, was dancing, which always feels good. We always feed off the crowd when that happens. And, they were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Party people.
Party people in the house. I liked how there was no poop on the floor this time. That was nice.
That was key, man. No poop on the floor equals great time.
Wait, when did you join the band? Right before the poop or after the poop?
Oh, before. Yeah.
Okay.
I joined like at the beginning of December.
It's just, time has just flown by. I didn't even realize it had been What? We didn't even have a 1-year anniversary. We usually don't celebrate those, though.
Gone by quick, man. Been a riot.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Was there anything that, like, you wish you would have known in advance, or you wish it would have gone better? It's okay. Nobody listens to the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have eaten.
Oh my gosh,
I was starving by the time I got home because there was no way we were going to be able to get food.
Yeah. Dude, I'm such a piece of shit. You know what I did?
What?
The second we got in, I saw that you guys were all doing a car bomb. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to just walk across the street and go to Beto's. And I went to Beto's and I ate like 2 meals worth of food. And then I came back and I like, as I'm walking back, I was like, oh my gosh, it's already 8:33. We're supposed to be like getting on stage at 8:30. Like that's when the other band ends. There's a half an hour in between.
Yeah.
And I had just written out this whole thing for changeover about like what some of my cool ideas, and probably nobody even had a chance to see it because I sent it like as people were loading stuff on already. And I got back and you guys had already unloaded the van and everything.
Yeah, I didn't really see it until later. My bad.
I didn't help at all. It was kind of like when Moses sends me a set list right as we're walking on stage, and I'm like, thanks. I can't do anything with this now. Because I got a whole process where I have to like put it in my set list app and like rearrange all my cues. Mm-hmm. And so what I need to do is I need to find a better system to be more flexible so that I could just like jump on and just be like, okay, these are the, there just needs to be a faster way around the songs. I need to probably switch set list apps because that one's buggy, and like they started charging a subscription and then it got worse.
Oh, of course.
So now I'm paying like $50 a year, which is a lot for an app that doesn't work. That's like 15 years old. You stop barking.
Pickles.
She's here. She's trying to get me to play with the corpse of a recent stuffed animal.
Good job.
Yeah, well, that's that. That's all.
Alrighty, bro.
All right, well, thanks for participating. Did I wake you up?
No.
Okay, good. Because it's only 8:30, but also I don't know what time people go to sleep.
Yeah, on a school night when I don't have band practice, it's usually pretty early.
Yeah, that's a good way to live. I also go to bed pretty early, but it's the other early.
The other early?
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow at whatever time. Later, Casey.
Yeah, bro.
Well, Casey Jackson on the telephone. Heard it from him first. Double micing it. Hey Siri, call Moses. After all said and done.
Hello.
Hey, I'm calling you. I'm doing a podcast episode and you're on speakerphone.
Oh, look at me. I'm a fancy boy.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you very briefly, how did this weekend go?
It went great. St. Patrick's Day is always tricky and difficult to perform at because there's an awful lot of folks that are out getting rowdy.
Yeah.
And 3-hour sets are always tough because my voice gets really, really tired, and boy, is my voice really tired, and we have a 3-hour set tomorrow.
Yeah. And then sickness.
Yeah, I mean...
You have a little bit of a cold going on?
I was sick for several days before, so I was a little concerned. But, it's not the first time. Thankfully, I had mostly recovered by the time the show rolled around. So.
That's good. That's
so
good.
It wasn't too bad.
I've definitely like got some grumble in my voice still. I wake up and just like cough it all out. I feel like a smoker, but I'm not even a smoker.
I'm sitting on my couch right now, drinking a stein of hydration and water.
Yeah. Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, no, I thought it went well. It was fun. Played a lot of songs. Ran around like an idiot. Like,
did you you didn't look like you were struggling to breathe because you were running the whole time, but just because you put you all into your performance doesn't mean that you feel great. It's just sometimes you just show up and Yeah,
I mean, as they say, the show still has to go on. I mean, you still have to put on a good show that people enjoy, and sometimes that's. I just noticed that at the show there were a number of people that were kind of like standing like 8 to 10 feet away from the stage.
Yeah.
So the best thing that you can do as a performer is try to bring everyone in. You can do that by calling people in and saying like, hey, everyone come closer to the stage. Yeah. Or you can run out there and be a part of the crowd and take the show to them. I kind of like that method a lot better. I was just thinking this weekend about how I'm just constantly slightly irritated by things, and one of the things I'm slightly irritated by recently is the things that performers say way too much, like, hey, let's get everybody up front. Hey, everybody up front. Everybody, please come to the front. Yeah.
Come to the front. Yeah. Hey, we just need you guys all to move to the front. It would be better.
Yeah, I mean...
And there's a time for it.
Sure. And I think that it's really easy to fall into that trap, but literally every band pretty much does that. Yeah. Versus one of my favorite things to do is run out to a table that's eating. Oh yeah. And just look back and forth between the person and their fries. Oh yeah. As many times as I can, just to see if I can get one fry off of them.
Dude.
I love that. I also am a fan of, if I see people dancing, run out and start dancing with them, which is, it gives you a whole new respect for pop stars, having to dance and sing. Like, as soon as I'm out in a crowd of people and I'm trying to, dance in time while playing my parts in time, I'm immediately cognizant of how little coordination I actually have.
The Britney Spears of the world are a whole different level of performer.
Yeah, you think about the way that most people other than drummers play their instruments. I can keep my arms in time. Yeah, that's not a problem. But then, to also try to dance around with people.
Yeah, I'm typically not physically exerted after playing a song. In the same way that any of them would be.
Yeah, I was beat after that show.
I bet.
And we get to do it again tomorrow.
Good for us.
Yeah, it's better than not doing anything at all, though.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, is there anything that you wish would have gone better? Well, it's okay. Nobody listens to the podcast, so nobody's gonna hear this.
I definitely wish that I had eaten food a little bit closer to the show.
Oh, I just got off the phone with Casey, and that was his answer too.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you do a long show, by the time the end of the night rolls around, you're famished.
Yeah. But it's also the end of the night, and your options are fleeting.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not supposed to eat before I go to bed anyways. And I got home that night, and I was like, I don't care. I'm going to eat one cookie. And then I still was like, well, I better stay up for another hour. So I didn't go to bed till 4.
Yeah. But,
other than that, I thought I enjoyed every part of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's always tricky to play shows where there's a ton of people moving through the pathway. You know, because Piper has the temple bar and then the front bar, and you know, you want to put on a good show and you're looking at these people in front of you, but the number of times I turned around and saw a bunch of people behind us and I kept forgetting to run back there, and the people back there are paying attention too. So
that's interesting.
I wish that I had done a better job at paying attention to those folks.
Well, I think it was, you know, from my memory, I feel like it was a good balance of abusing our wireless systems and getting out into the crowd without it just being like, oh wow, look who just got a wireless system and is going to walk around the whole show.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I think it was a good balance between the two.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's the video of it, I think, on our social media somewhere, of we were playing the 10 Barrel Brewing was having a Halloween show in Boise, and we were all dressed like bottles of mustard.
Yes.
And I ran out into the crowd at one point and was like playing you know, a part of like my solo for a song or something, and I got stuck and I like couldn't get back to the stage because there were too many people.
There were so many people that you couldn't get back.
Yeah, and so I was just stuck there. And there's a video of me like holding my mandolin up in the air, more so to be like, hey everybody, make some room. So, you know, there are downsides of walking around when you've got your wireless too.
Yeah. I mean, those people in that area all left with a cool story about it too.
Yeah. Yep. You know, the thing about Piper is I've always wanted to jump onto, they have that like bar that runs through the middle.
Oh.
That's like it's a long, like 30-foot long bar that's only like a foot or two wide. Yeah. Every time we play there, I think about jumping up on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first.
I never do.
I think it's the first thing one of us did in the D&D game where we were at Piper.
Yeah. I think, you know, I actually went and laid down on it this time, but I think that's the closest I've ever gotten to standing on it.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm sure that people have like, I'm sure that people have like videos on their phones of that. And I love the juxtaposition of looking out, seeing you laying down, and one of the members of the staff, I think it might have been Cherish, just like walking by very like professionally, like still at work. And it's just like, wow, like look at us just being hilarious. And like, look at you having been here for 13 hours, like just walking past it like, whatever, it's just another thing that happened today. So fun.
Yep, that's how it be.
So fun.
No, those poor bartenders that work those days, like it is St. Patrick's Day for bartenders is like amateur hour. They have to deal with the worst of the worst for the entire day, and like, you know, especially when St. Patrick's Day is on like at the start of a week like this one is. Yeah. They have to deal with that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. And one thing a lot of people may not know is that most of those bartenders that are at these bars at Piper, they all got there at like 9:30 in the morning.
Insane.
And they were there till, you know, probably 2:30 in the morning.
There were so many staff members when I went upstairs at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Still there. And I was just like, man, it is one, you know?
Yeah.
Or it is two or whatever it was. Like, and it's not like other nights where they cut some of the people. So good on them for working hard and making a lot of money, hopefully. But wow, what a hard time to work.
Yeah.
There's definitely one of those times on one of those jobs that they probably go, I don't know, is this worth it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
I don't know. Well, I thought our sound guy was really awesome, and it was cool to see one of the other people that work there, because I typically
'cause you never see him.
Typically never really get to see him unless we're playing, and then it always it always tends to be like one of the same two people lately.
Yeah.
But I was like, you do exist. And we had a whole conversation about how the right side of the PA seemed a little bit weak.
Right.
And they were going to climb up there today and test it, which I thought was cool. I'm like, you're actually like doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to do what you can do, you know? And you guys, especially when you're running sound, you notice things that, you know, a band's never going to notice because they're on stage. Even when we're walking out there with our wirelesses, we have our in-ear monitors in. So, like,
yeah,
you're not going to see that stuff.
Yeah, I did sound for Murphy the night before, and they several times walked out into the crowd.
Yeah.
And Daniel was standing right next to me at the sound booth, and I thought he was going to sit there and tell me like what to turn up or down. I was like kind of starting to flinch.
Yeah.
Which was a weird reaction to have, but I did. And then he was just like, "Oh, it sounds really good."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. This is probably the best sounding Murphy show at Piper in a long time because like I'm doing a good job. It's fine."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know what I'm doing. But,
well, it also helps to have a lot of bodies in the room, as you're aware.
And I have the advantage of having played a bunch of shows with them.
Right.
With my group. And it's called folkhogan.com.
Prove it.
I really was so annoyed by some of the things, and then I realized, like, they're like a brother to me. Like, I'm going to be harder on them like they're a family member, but they're actually doing great. But Jesus played that Super Mario riff after 14 songs in a row. And I was starting to get I was like, first of all, that was our joke?
Yeah, you know what we should do is we should just come up with a different one. It'd be fun.
Anything. The SpongeBob
Shave
one.
And a haircut. 2 pence, like that, you know.
The SpongeBob one.
I've never watched SpongeBob in my life.
Oh,
so.
You know, it's definitely one of those cartoons that you know, people grew up on, but also has always had a strong adult fan base because it's, you know, they don't dumb it way too down for kids. Like, you can still enjoy it as an adult, in my opinion.
For sure.
But take it with a grain. All right, man. Well, get some.
Hey, good job on Saturday,
rest.
and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Catch you on the flip side.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, I was kind of laughing at my idea of just like calling them on the phone and just putting my wireless mic right here, because I'm working on the cable still and surrounded by whatever tech I've got in my apartment at the moment, which there's at least 4 other ways to do this, but that was just the easiest. And it was really easy. I was like, I've got an interface, but then I've got to plug it into something else with a USB-C on it. And, you know, the beauty of these little wireless mics, hopefully they work out just fine, is just easy use. They just pop right on. And so sometimes it's nice to change things up. I like having the full production of having audio and cameras and all this stuff, but 1 camera, 1 mic, 2 mics, that's an easy time. And it works out well. I don't know why I'm wrapping this cable like this. This is crazy. But, so, it sounds like, you know, in the future, Folk Hogan needs to eat before our gigs, but not too close. Not too close before, but slightly before. And it sounds like I should have thought about my bandmates, but I don't know. Moses wouldn't have been able to go eat that quickly before the show because he doesn't like having a full stomach and singing. It didn't bother me because I just sing a few songs, a few backups, and, whatever. That's my life. I'm glad that we were able to film another one of these, record another one of these, get the podcast out while I work away at some of these cables. And, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm organizing, I'm cleaning, and I've decided to replace all of these Velcro that get fibers and fuzz and dog hair and cat hair and people hair and this rag all stuck in them. And I'm replacing them with these little silicone ones that are far superior. And you can just find them. You can find them on the internet. Sometimes they're sold as UMUST brand. You must. But there's a couple brands of these. It was like $6 for 20 of them off of the devil, Amazon.com. I can't believe I'm using Amazon.com, but when you're busy, sometimes it's nice to just get that 1 or 2 day shipping. And, I had to pick and choose. Everybody's got to make their own choices at the end of capitalism here about how they want to support stuff. I know my compadre Moses would never buy something on Amazon. I moved into this apartment and I just loved the convenience of getting all the new spatulas and things without having to go out every time. Having it delivered to the front door was quite convenient. And then I decided, I was going to cancel some of the other streaming services and just do Amazon Prime for a bit. And I hadn't done Amazon Prime for a couple of years, so there's some good new movies on there. Also, they had really good stuff when we were in the Netherlands. And so then I got all these cool Dutch shows that were, some of them were all based in this culture that we've surrounded ourselves in. And it was fun. So there's one that's actually not Dutch but German, and it's called Luden, I think. And I'll try to remember to put it in the show notes, but we'll see. But it's about a gigolo. No, it's about a pimp from the Reeperbahn, Rope Street, in Hamburg, Germany, where we have played many times as Folk Hogan. So that's a good one to check out. Let's see, this is too many of these. Let's say, I need some mini versions of these. I wonder if they sell shorter ones, because those would be nice. I think this is why partially I got here, is where this holder was holding a lot of stuff, was that I've just got too many cords. Surprise, surprise. If you're ever wondering what side you're supposed to put the cable tie in, on, wrong preposition, on, it is the end side, also known as the male side, because the male side goes into the mixer board, whatever. The female side goes into your microphone. So you don't want this ball of stuff getting in your mustache, pulling your mustache hairs out, scraping your scraping your face. So it goes on the end. Now if your cable has the same end on both ends, like if it's a 1/4-inch cable, like a guitar cable, then which end does it go on then? It goes on the end. So just put it on the right one. Figure that out. Pray about it. You'll do fine. Well, this has been an episode of the Folk Hogan podcast. We don't have any new merch to buy. We have old and dirty merch. We don't have any new songs to listen to. They're old and disgusting. No, what we have is YouTube. So we've got like 200-300 YouTube videos. I've been putting live stuff up there a lot. Probably by the time this podcast comes out, there'll be a few more. Because I have a whole show that I just finished editing. Our opening band, Sean Baker's Recycled Stardust set. And now I've got all the Folk Hogan stuff. I hired a camera person. I set up a bunch of my cameras. And so it's time to put that show out there. And it's at the Ice House. I don't think we've ever put one up of us playing at the Ice House. So it'll be a little different, a little bit new. And that's fun. And we like fun, I think we like fun. So go do it. Support it. All right. Catch y'all on the flip side.
Stoner, that socialite loner, was born with a mighty soul. He spent many a night with bombs in the sky, a pain in his heart, a tear in his eye. He grabs a blowtorch and guards the back porch. If any attack, they will die. 'Cause he'll fight, he will fight, he will fight, he will fight. So we look to the heavens, I parted the sky, and down from above, a dragon did fly. He picked up our band, now he's our new fan, and he comes to all our shows. As we soar on his back, we look down on man, they reach up to us and admire our band. Our name is in bold, our lyrics are gold, with a band of mighty souls. We are gods. Of speakers and crowds will amass. We'll crank up the volume and kick tons of ass. Buy us some beer.